Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new game, World Series. Again, we're in round 3, we're in the quarterfinals and we've got Herb against Bad Boy. Bad Boy is playing under the name Castiel. If you remember, Bad Boy has won all his games so far, Herb has won his games so far as well. And these two are going to meet for these quarterfinals. It's going to be a best of 7 again. And we've got a Gilet mirror to start with. So Herb with stealth in the south colour. Sorry, did I just say south colour? South position, and in the north we've got Bad Boy in the cyan colour. Yeah, so I was just playing with the sound. I thought the sound was actually off, but I keep forgetting that this map, because it's a custom map, it actually has no sounds in it. It has no wind or birds or anything like that. So sometimes I think the sounds are off, but it's actually on. Anyway, so we've got from Bad Boy 2 terrorists going down this centre, going to meet Herb's 2 terrorists as well. What they're doing is looking for workers. Any aggressive workers that go forward will get killed by the other terrorist. Bad Boy actually looking like he's going for a bit of better map control. What army was he again? I think he was GLA. I'm pretty sure he's GLA the way he's got tunnels that aren't stealth. We know Herb is stealth because of course they come with free stealth tunnels. So got Herb being a little bit more defensive, and you would kind of expect that because if Bad Boy is GLA, which I'm pretty sure he is, he's going to have like scorpions and stuff, and stealth is going to be on the back foot for the first quarter, maybe first third of the game at least, maybe the first half. We've got an aggressive technical straight out of Herb, straight out of the war factory and straight down the middle. Gonna go and find some workers, I would imagine, but it's actually going to go down. That's excellent defense from Bad Boy. I'm hoping this isn't going to be as long as the last one. That's why it took me so long to upload the last video, because the file size was huge and it took ages to create the video. Hopefully you appreciated the little score that I've been doing at the bottom. This is going to have the score on it as well, and it updates every time a player wins or loses a game. We've got more techs out of Herb. This tech actually did kill some workers, that's good, but as a result of that, Bad Boy's actually been able to rank up that vet to the technical and actually scrap it up as well. So now it should be a scrapped up to the second level, so it can kill infantry nice and quick. So actually if he shoots there, he could actually do splash damage to all of them and kill them. One of them is going to go down. It'd be nice if Herb collects that scrap. The technicals still going to be running around. Herb having to move quads after them is going to be slow, and of course the techs are going to get away. Got Bad Boy being a bit more aggressive on this left side, quickly getting a tunnel up. This rebel that Herb has built is going to die if he goes in that path. It looks like he's going to go left, and of course that is permanently stealthed, so Bad Boy won't know that's there until he goes right next to the tunnel. Bad Boy actually opening this pretty well. He's got really decent map control. Tunnels on both sides, actually going for his this oil on the right himself, and here, but not quite here, and Herb actually going for a supply there. I would also recommend, if you're stealth, if you're a player like Hawkeye, he always builds his palace first just on 2 supplies, and then goes for like a 3rd supply and then an oil. But what I prefer to do, and what a lot of other players you'll see do, is actually get a 3rd supply or get an oil and then go palace, because when you build a palace it costs 2,500, and you can't build a lot else if you've only got 2 supplies. So if you get at least a 3rd supply and an oil, there's a load of workers being killed there, which is good by Bad Boy. If you get a supply and an oil, you can actually afford to build the palace and actually be building tunnels and loads of other stuff as well. So that's just my way. But Hawkeye is probably one of the best GLAs in the game at making loads of black markets. That is his strategy, and usually it gets him the win. Got a Toxin Tractor clearing out 2 of these buildings. Bad Boy going to quickly recapture it. I probably wouldn't recommend capturing that one because it's pretty weak. It goes down to even just a few quads, unless you've got loads and loads of rockets in there. Herb creeping forward now with the stealth tunnel. 2 RPGs there, which will give him a bit of range, or quite a lot of range. One of the biggest in the game, as I've said many times before. Herb actually looking like he's going to push forward, but I don't know what is going to come out of Bad Boy's tunnel. Will it be enough to handle all this? Those rockets actually went down pretty quick, and Herb actually isn't going to have enough stuff. When you're against the tunnel, RPGs and Scorps, that's going to be real hard, so that's actually a super bad engagement for Herb. I think I was thinking about this before, about what makes like top level players, and the top level players, especially like in a GLA mirror, which is a perfect example, is you know when to take engagements, and you know when well, GLA mirror is a perfect example of it. You've got to know when to approach a tunnel and how much stuff the enemy could have, because one bad engagement, if like for example there he just popped out a load of stuff, Herb lost that whole engagement, as a result he's lost the tunnel, lost his whole army, and going to lose that oil. And if this map wasn't huge and Herb didn't have other stuff going, that could be a loss right there, like on Tournament Desert. That would put you at a severe disadvantage. But luckily for Herb, he's got something to fall back on. I think he was being a little bit ambitious going for that though. Bad Boy not protecting his rebel is going to go down to a quad. We've got Bad Boy on the left, creeping further into the middle. He has actually got good control over here as well, so it's a bit fragmented for Herb. Herb actually going for an oil kill on the left, which is decent. He's actually got his palace up as well, which I missed. Would get them RPGs and get it in there and stealth that palace, start on the black markets. He's floating 5,900 and only just discovered that he's got a supply over here, so a little bit sloppy and weird from Herb, but nevertheless he's doing kind of alright. I think he's got a supply and an oil in the center, but it's not going to be as much as he could have. He actually got 2 oils, sorry, he's still got this one on the right, although Bad Boy should be killing that or capturing it ASAP, because every 12 seconds, as I say every time, Herb is getting $200. I don't think I made a prediction for these games. I only made a prediction for the first round initially. Probably should have done one for the second round and third round, but I'm actually going to predict Herb to win these. Herb has achieved more in the past than Bad Boy. Don't get me wrong, Bad Boy is an excellent player, but I think Herb has won some decent tournaments and not that too bad as stats against some of the top players, so he is really decent when he's playing his best, certainly. Herb already starting on the black markets, Bad Boy on 2 war factories, or 2 arms dealers rather, and a palace, but he's got a really healthy amount of stuff, and it's actually, if I was to rewind and predict it from the beginning, I would not expect Bad Boy to be doing this well against such a great player like Herb, but Bad Boy is been playing really good this whole series, and it looks like he's playing really decent this game as well. These Scorps greatly help against stealth, especially early on. It's getting a little bit later though, and the more buggies that Herb gets out, the harder it's going to be for Bad Boy, because buggies at long range can just pick away all of this, especially Scorps. They're really good at killing Scorps. Bad Boy's quad is going for a walk and actually can go down to the palace, which I think should be stealthed. Because if Bad Boy was paying attention, that quad wouldn't have happened and it would have gone back. But if it's stealthed it, if Bad Boy was paying attention, he'd probably think he can go there, but the palace would kill it anyway. But luckily for Herb, Bad Boy wasn't paying attention for that sec. I don't think, I was going to say Bad Boy probably can't see that because it's stealth, but he actually can, so he needs to be killing that ASAP before it rebuilds. Herb's still got a scaffold here on 21%. Bad Boy's still not been able to get this oil, which is really annoying me. Please just kill that oil. It's just giving Herb extra cash, which is making him more black markets, which Bad Boy really doesn't need if he wants this game to be quicker. Herb is actually winning on the black market front, it looks like, with 4 black markets. Bad Boy on 1, 2, 3 in production, 1 fake. Bit of an engagement on this right side still. Got buggies against quads. Buggies are a little bit close for my liking, but this quad is going to tank some of the damage, but that quad's going to go down. Again, a little bit sloppy, not too bad. We're kind of nitpicking, but I'd like to see them buggies at like more of a safe distance. But sometimes the terrain, you see where it goes downhill here. I think we can see. You can see it slightly goes down. Then sometimes messes the projection of the buggies up, and they can't fire, and they have to like it messes with the buggies firing basically, and they have to like move around, and like sometimes they'll walk like here when they could easily, on flat land, they could easily shoot something. Sometimes they go too close and it causes them to die. A really good example for a map that is Forgotten Forest, where the terrain is real horrible all the way through the center of the map and the bottom right and the bottom left side. Really horrible map for buggies. You have to be on your flat little plateau at the bottom left or the bottom top right for buggies to get a decent engagement. So those buggies are going to continue to chip away at stuff, but Herb hasn't actually got that many out. Usually you would have 2 arms dealers and be getting. He's actually, why is he floating like 7.5k? I have no idea. Usually we'd have 2 arms dealers out and have a crazy amount of buggies out, and you can actually be retaking this land. And even though you may have spent loads of money on those buggies, you can retake like these supplies, which pays for them eventually. But Herb actually choosing to go for, well, he was floating loads of cash and actually choosing to make loads more black markets. Rather than doing a black market at a time and spending his cash as he's getting it, he's like storing it up and then finally realizing how much cash he was floating and then building it, which isn't the greatest way to build black markets, don't think. Maybe he needs to take a lesson off Hawkey, who is one of the best black markets spammers in the game. Bit of a bad decision to let that supply finish, bit of a bad decision to even build that, I think, because it's you haven't cleared this area at all. All the quad needs to do is just go and park here, which nothing can kill it from here, or even here, or a Jarman, and these workers are going to get picked off. It's not even going to pay for itself, because you think that supply's worth 1,500, each worker's worth 200, so that's already 1,900 spent. And are these workers going to be able to collect 900 and more to make a profit? Sorry, 1,900 and more to make a profit? No, they can't, and actually the supply's actually going to go down. Herb actually going for the worker shoes pretty early on, which is pretty good. I didn't see what time exactly he got that, but it's really decent. We can see there's nothing else going on the map, just on this right side. Sometimes you will see like a Terra Tech or something, but it looks like these players aren't multitasking, they're just focusing on one area. I think this area is quite important for Herb because that was his entry to the middle and tried to get these supplies. As we saw, that's what he wanted to do. And this is Bad Boy's entry, or now it is, to Herb's base where he's going to be pushing. So it's turned out to be a nice game for Bad Boy. It completely dominated the center, which I really did not expect from Bad Boy, but he has, because Herb is just usually so good, especially with, well, not especially, but I mean, he's good with GLA. And I would have expected him to have at least half of the center, but instead Bad Boy has completely destroyed Herb from the center and pushed him right back, and that's partly because he is stealth, of course, so you can't make scorps, and you can only make quads and buggies later on, and the buggies are trying to fight now, but actually being pushed back because Bad Boy's got so much cash in the center. Even if the buggies picked off the whole of Bad Boy's army, he can probably just rebuild it with the amount of cash that he's got. He's on 5k now. He's got nearly 90% of the map control. You can see his vision goes right up to here, to nearly both Herb's supplies, so crazy map control. And that helps a lot in the GLA mirror, because you know the enemy, no matter what he's doing, he has to be doing it in this like 10 or 20% of the map. You have control of the whole other side of the map, so the enemy can't be there because you can't see him, unless of course he uses GPS scrambler or whatever, but you know the size of the enemy's base, the size, you know exactly what he's got, what he's doing. That's why map control is super important. I'll just answer a frequent question that I always get asked, is why do people build a fake barracks? I didn't actually say that at the beginning of the game. I don't know if they did it or not. So right at the beginning of the game, you'll see players often build a fake barracks and then upgrade it to a real one, and that is actually not quicker than building a real one straight away. It takes exactly the same amount of time, and that's if you upgrade it like instantly as soon as it's built. As soon as you build a fake, if you upgrade it straight away, it takes exactly the same amount of time as it does to build a real one. But the advantage is that a fake one takes half the amount of time, so for half of the time you can actually be moving that worker around. So what you do, you build the fake and then you can move the worker whilst you're upgrading it, whereas otherwise if you were building a real one from the get-go, then your worker would be stood there obviously building it, tapping his hammer against it, trying to build it. But if you build the fake, the worker can run around whilst it's upgrading. The barracks will finish at the same amount of time, but your worker will have had chance to get into a decent position. So as soon as the barracks is upgraded, you can then build the build a tunnel where you want. So you'll probably get a better position in the center where you want, because your worker will be there quicker, a tunnel will be up quicker. That's why. Yeah, sorry I went into a bit of a tangent there, but I get asked that a lot, and I've seen people on the other channels asking that as well. And not everybody knows the answer, but hopefully that clears up the fake There is one other reason, not for barracks really, but you'll see like fake black markets. So a fake black market costs 625, whereas a full real black market costs 2,500. So let's say you want to be building black markets, but you don't have the full 2,500. You can start building it and get it at 50% completed. Well, you can build a fake, which is basically 50% completed because it's 50% of the building time, and then later on when you've got the cash, you can use the other 1825 or whatever the amount is. I forgot what it is off the top of my head, but you can finish building it when you've got the extra cash, and it'll only take half the amount of time because you've already built the fake. So yeah, fake buildings are a big help. You can also build fake buildings because they detonate as well if an enemy goes near it and doesn't expect it. Fake buildings can detonate as well. We've actually got some pink on the map, which is Herb, and actually going for rebel ambush stealth. Bad Boy reacting to that straight away and going to kill that. He's got a radar van, and we've got Bad Boy pushing right down this right side. This is causing Herb some big problems. Herb being pushed right back. It's looking like Bad Boy's going to go up 1-0, I would expect. 2 Scud Storms out of Herb. That's why Herb was going for the Rebel Ambush, probably to do a scout to see how much Bad Boy has and hopefully capture that Scud, but it didn't go his way. Herb is in a real difficult situation now. Bad Boy actually in the back of Herb's base killing workers, which is causing Herb super problems. Bad Boy is by far outplaying Herb in this game. Really controlling it. Anthrax bomb coming in, that's going to seal the deal. That's the radar van gone, which sometimes demoralizes you because you lose the radar, you can't even see really what's going on that easily, and there you go, he quits. So yeah, GG, well played definitely by Bad Boy. It exceeded my expectations there. Collected nearly 50k more than Herb, or 47ish k. Okay, so jumping into the second game then. So we've got Herb in the south, yellow, with a super weapon, and in the north we've got Bad Boy as Tox. A little bit of a weird supply placement there. Bad Boy knows it and he's going to cancel it and rebuild it. Actually going for the real barracks, not a fake one. I don't think against USA, I'm not sure that you have to make a fake. It's not essential. Probably does help if you want to go for the center, but Herb's actually done a drone there. Herb's USA is usually pretty good and spot on. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough task for Bad Boy. He's going to have to play good, but Bad Boy does have the army advantage. Tox versus super weapon. If played perfectly, Tox should win this every single time, if you ask me. Because Herb is going to have expensive Vs, as I say, every single time, 850 a piece. So that if he builds a barracks now, which I expect him to, he's not going to be able to get that first V out because he doesn't have enough cash for 850. Whereas if it costs 700, you can actually build the barracks and then build the V, and it'll still come out just as quick. But what Herb's actually doing is skipping that barracks. He's going to build it probably when that drops off some cash, so he can actually get out that first V quick, and that's what he's actually doing. So that barracks is delayed. So already seeing the signs of the weaker army. Herb actually going down the left with a dozer running over a worker. The pressure is on now for Herb. He's already 1-0 down and got this bad army now, so he's really got to step up his game. He's actually going to get a good deny on both of them workers, the right one and the left one, both going down. It's definitely paid off, that V actually going nearly half health. If that went down low, it would drive back really slow and be able to taken out by this technical that's coming now. But actually, luckily for Herb, it's not gone that low and actually been brought back. Bad Boy actually going to finish that tunnel. Bad Boy needs to get some damage against Herb done now, I would expect, if you're planning on winning this game, because Herb, as we've seen in other games and as I've said in previous games, Herb likes to get a load of full Vs. He'll get like 4 of them in an ambulance, and he'll just charge down the center of the map and go straight for your war factory, and as soon as the GLA war factory goes down, that's pretty much GG if you let that happen. So what Bad Boy needs to be doing is actually causing some severe damage now. Not going for the dozer home, which I just saw there. You want to be denying like Chinooks from collecting, you want to be killing Chinooks, you want to be doing a terror attack on the war factory, preferably there, and you can detonate both of them buildings. At least hitting supply centers, that's the least you want to be doing, or even power and barracks. You want to be stopping the flow of Vs coming out, because as soon as Herb has got like 4 or 5 Vs, I'm going to predict it now, he's going to charge either straight down the center or maybe straight down the left side, because he knows there's not a tunnel there, and he's going to go straight for Bad Boy's base, I bet you now. So he's got that magical number out. We've got 4. We've got a couple of full ones. He's going to probably head out. He is moving out, but don't know where he's quite going. He has seen these techs, and that's another thing Bad Boy wants to be doing. Not only causing damage, which he hasn't caused any right now, he wants to be delaying Herb from moving out of his base whilst he builds more tunnels, not a palace. More tunnels, oils, supplies, but basically blocking off every exit, like a tunnel here with RPGs, a tunnel here with RPGs in there, and a tunnel here with maybe a few RPGs and technicals standing by. But Herb is going to go down this left side, just like we said. Meanwhile, no economic damage whatsoever, no buildings destroyed, no nothing. Just a few techs running around and a few units. I think from Bad Boy played excellent the first game, and now not really. I don't know if I should say not knowing what to do, but he needs to know that he needs to be causing like severe damage, otherwise he's not going to be able to win this. He is going palace, and he has got 2 oils, so maybe he's doing a Hawkeye and going for quick buggies, which can work as well. But I mean, in such an imbalanced matchup like this, I think it's imbalanced. I think Tok should win every time. Then I don't think Bad Boy should be giving him this much freedom. Like he's gonna actually get to the war factory and close that down probably now. He's gonna kill a few techs. Techs are gonna go a bit close. This is not too bad actually. He's killing a lot of missile defenders, which they're the things you want to be killing. So all the missile defenders go down, and the ambulance is nearly down too. Yeah, so that's actually pretty decent. Only because that's super bad micro from Herb, but actually pretty decent. Herb going to park outside the arms dealer. Still try and take it out. Quad's going to come out in a buggy. So it looks like Bad Boy actually will clean this up. But I really think that's only because it was bad micro from Herb. He evacuated all his stuff and moved his Vs away so the infantry could die easily. But what you probably should be doing is evacuate them and put the Vs in front, so the Vs take the damage and the infantry can do all the laser locking and stuff. But Herb didn't do either of those things. Herb actually going for a few full Vs down the right side, taking out an oil, taking out a tunnel. Bad Boy trying to bunker in with another tunnel there. We've got a black market coming out. This supply weirdly not taken from either player actually. What I would do if you're USA is actually build a spare Chinook and actually be collecting from there, so you're just on 3 Chinooks on one supply. Brings in the extra income without spending that extra 2,000. Instead it's only 1,200 for the Chinook. So on the left side, you've got Herb actually going for an oil capture, which I didn't expect that actually. Expecting him just to kill it. Herb actually going for a strategy center. Of course he can get to strategy center. He's got 4,200 in the bank because he's had no economic damage done to him whatsoever. He's just been allowed to do whatever he wants. He's got decent-ish map control, probably about 50%. Bad Boy maybe slightly more. Supply been finished on the left side from Bad Boy. Need to see all them workers built, and I'd love to see a tunnel here with that garrison because that's a really strong point of defense there. Is Bad Boy going to kill that oil, or is he going to capture it? It looks like he's going to kill it, which isn't too bad. On the right, a load of Vs, really scary for Bad Boy. And now Search and Destroy is up. I expect to see probably an airfield, and then we're going to see Auroras. And once you've got Vs and Auroras, it's a real deadly combo. Probably one of the deadliest combos you can have in the game against ground armies anyway, because no matter what Bad Boy makes, it can just be nailed by an Aurora, and the Aurora can't be shot down, of course, because it flies so fast it can't be shot down. Bad Boy taking some severe damage on this right side. One tunnel going down. These Vs are getting in a difficult position to deal with. So Bad Boy now, even if those Vs just park up there, Bad Boy's going to be thinking about that. And meanwhile, Herb can do another wave in the center. But Herb actually going to do more damage on this right side. Not enough buggies out. I've got 4 supplies out of Bad Boy. No second arms dealer, which I really would love to see. Start building a fake now, and then upgrade it later when you've got a lot of spare cash. We've got a burn out of Herb, going to go straight down, way too close to that toxin tunnel. got a Jarman out now, which is going to help against V's. Herb actually going for a defensive EMP. Actually building 2 Chinooks for there, which it's only like 10,000 there, I think. 3,750 times 3, which is roughly just over 10k. So if you build in a 2,000 supply and then you build another 1,200 Chinook, that's 3,200, and you're only going to be collecting 10k. So you're wiping out a good 33% of that stuff by building the supply and the 2 Chinooks. So I'd prefer to probably just do 1 Chinook, or even just the 1 spare from the. Actually, he's got spares here, so a little bit of a mistake there from Herb, I think. So Bad Boy actually not doing too bad, considering he didn't do any damage in the beginning to slow Herb down. He's actually managed to get to Palace pretty quick because he started it straight away. He's on quads and buggies, but no second arms dealer though. Which, if you have an army of quads and buggies, there's literally nothing that these can do without the help of Auroras. And even Auroras can go down if you press X on your quads before they arrive. Before the Aurora arrives, the Auroras will be shot down, and Herb can't afford to keep losing Auroras. So I would like to see, rather than another second. Actually, there we go. We got 2 arms dealers out finally. Just as I was about to complain about the next black market. What I would actually like to see is less black markets, get a command center and more units, and only like 1 or 2 black markets. That's all you kind of really need, and use the units. But I think he's planning for a long bunkery style game. If you get the command center nice and early, you can have the rebel ambush as soon as it's ready, and the rebel ambush will level a whole army of V's and ambulance. Oh, sorry, not the ambulance, because obviously the rebels can't target the ambulance. So the right side, Bad Boy's going to creep forward. He's going to spot this 3rd supply and the EMP. He's probably going to be garrisoning this building, and Bad Boy's going to take a full shot of an Aurora, taking out a few buggies. I think 1 V that actually Bad Boy captured, and a couple of quads. So Auroras are really good. If used correctly, Auroras really should never go down if you if used correctly. Just chip away at the enemy. The only time they should go down is when you're getting desperate and you need to get hits, and you go down to like a Stinger or the odd quad that you miss, or pops out of a tunnel. Aurora should go down there. Actually, no. What I would like to see is a bike or 2 bikes, or even a technical sent across the map, parked here, and they can shoot those Auroras and kill them pretty instant. Finally, some economic damage, but it's way too late at the 11:30 minute mark. A load of missile defenders going to get run over by a buggy. Nice from Bad Boy. Has he seen the Pathfinder? I don't think so. That Pathfinder's going to be annoying because it's completely invisible. Even if you see it, it still kind of blends in with the grass. It's Vet 3, and it's going to kill any infantry or workers that go anywhere near there. Got 2 Auroras out of Herb, label them 1 and 2. Herb again floating 7.5k. I'd like to see another dozer built, and yeah, another dozer and super weapons built, because super weapons only cost 2,500, and they can do super damage against GLA. Like for example, let's say you launched the particle there, you can kill the palace, 2 tunnels, probably that, and maybe you can get the council. It can do a big line, whereas like a nuke probably wouldn't kill any. Well, it definitely wouldn't kill any of those. It'll only cancel them down to the hull. So a super weapon for 2,500, a particle, is excellent and should be built. Sometimes I would even forget the supply depots altogether and just make particles, because a couple of particle strikes on a GLA is going to pretty much finish him. So yeah, I'd love to see some particles come out of Herb. I've got a microwave tank, I've got an A10. A10 of course requires level 2, you need 2 of those to kill a tunnel. 1 only puts it down to the hole. This microwave tank is going to come in and probably be clearing that. The Chinook is actually going to go down to an RPG, which is in there. I think they've been in there the whole game. We've got quads actually here, actually they're killing the Chinooks. Aurora's going to try and defend. We've got quite a bit of action going on all sides. The Auroras did defend successfully. So we had a few buggies go down there. We've got V's against tunnels. So Herb actually doing a super good job at clearing the centre. We've got Bad Boy here retracting where his supplies are and actually building a supply centre there. Expect all these V's to go down. Actually, one is going to escape, and actually that tide of that battle is going to turn, and Herb's actually going to win that. So it's looking pretty decent for Herb. I'm going to say Herb is probably going to win this one, unless Bad Boy gets like a big enough army and starts doing some more damage to Herb. I'd love to see like a terror attack and like evacuate him and run over here and kill some power and some supply depots. Herb losing loads of missile defenders again. He's lost loads this game, but the Aurora's coming in and clearing up a tunnel and the quads. More black markets coming out of Bad Boy. Herb running a bit thin on the grounds for V's. He's got 2 V's and an ambulance there. He's probably going to be still clearing the centre. Of course, Bad Boy's going to be a bit scared of putting his army pretty much anywhere, because Herb is just going to be able to nail it with the Auroras, which he's going to do exactly now. This Ranger here provides a huge vision, so these Auroras are going to be able to easily come over here, target the quads. Actually, will that one go down? No. Whole army destroyed. 1 buggy left. And it's actually going to go down to the EMP, too close. We've actually got a black market there as well, which has been half destroyed. It's down to the hull. Really ambitious from Bad Boy, maybe a bit too confident. You want to always be building them in the back of your base, or maybe spread out. I can actually hear a Burton knifing someone there. Where did I hear that burn? Pretty sure I just heard it, but I can't actually see on the map where it is. It's not there, unless I misheard it and I was hearing something else, but I'm pretty sure there's a Burton somewhere. If we press on Herb, actually doesn't come up with a star as to where it is. Got loads of support powers coming out of Herb. We've got Spectre killing some stuff. 1 black market going down, 1 going down to the hull. It's like, but Bad Boy hasn't got enough units out. He's got loads of buildings out and black markets, which is great, but they're just going to go down. They're not going to beat V's and Auroras. The way you're going to beat V's and Auroras is by building loads of units. So the Auroras simply, if quads and buggies were spread across there, the Auroras would go down because they'd only kill like a section of them. See, there's not enough units to break through this. You need loads and loads of units on the rebel ambush, and then if you break through and get to this airfield, that's Herb out of the game there and then. But because Bad Boy hasn't got enough units, building too many buildings, that's why he's going to lose. Remember what I was saying before about bad engagements and knowing when to take engagements, and like the top players always know when to take engagements. Right there, when Bad Boy popped a buggy and a quad, that was a real bad time to take an engagement because they just went straight down to the V's. So Herb going to push forward. He's taking more and more ground, but it's looking increasingly better for Herb. I really can't see Bad Boy being able to take this unless he suddenly produces loads of units and has a rebel ambush. Another one going down, and actually Bad Boy knows it's GG, and GG's right there. And quits out. So we'll just check the stats. So you can see Bad Boy created 143 units against Herb's 97. Bad Boy actually collected loads more cash. Bad Boy lost loads more units though. But yeah, GG, and we'll move into the 3rd game. Okay, so jumping into this next game then, we got Herb as Air Force in the south, purple, and in the north we've actually got Bad Boy as Air Force as well, so Air Mirror. Herb's Air Mirror is pretty decent if I remember rightly. They haven't actually chosen this, we can see, because Bad Boy's random and Herb is air. That means they both chose random, or I suppose Herb chose air and Bad Boy random, but we know that wouldn't happen. That's the most powerful army against a random army would be suicide. So yeah, they've both chosen random, drawn an Air Mirror. Herb will probably do 2 supplies and 2 airfields, which is pretty standard for Air Force General. You kind of want to do them near your supplies, the airfields, because when an enemy Raptor comes to kill the Chinooks, which it will do at some point, then your raptors that are flying around the airfield or on the airfield will deflect some of the missiles and save Chinook. If it doesn't take all of the missiles, the Chinook won't die. Actually, a bit of a weird build order coming out of Bad Boy. He's actually done a barracks and an airfield. I think this is a bit of a hard build order to pull off because Herb is going to control the whole game now. Unless Bad Boy is allowed to get all of the oils, or at least 2 or 3 of them, Bad Boy's going to be at a significant disadvantage, I would say. So got Bad Boy, he's got 1 raptor out, but Herb at this point is going to have 2. We can see 1 there and 1 there. We can see Bad Boy's coming in down the left side. I'm going to hit a Chinook. That was way too close to the Chinook to start firing. You need to start firing from far away. Bad Boy knows he's not going to finish that Chinook, goes for a dozer instead. 1 Chinook going down, 2 Chinooks going down for Bad Boy. This is a horrific start for Bad Boy. 2 Chinooks going down against none that went down for Herb. This is a perfect start for Herb. He's got loads of raptors out, more than his enemy. Bad Boy is economically behind and production wise behind. You see how that raptor there deflected some of the missiles? That saved it. Actually, Bad Boy's actually made 3 because they work together and deflect the missiles together. Whereas like 1v1, a Chinook will always die to a raptor. Herb actually spotted that Bad Boy's going for the oils, actually denied that oil. Allowed Bad Boy to capture this right one, but that's far outweighed by the Chinooks that Bad Boy has lost. Bad Boy, if I remember correctly, is actually a member, or was a member, of the Com clan. If anyone knows that clan, they are a Twilight Flame 3v3 clan. And Bad Boy actually super good at the at playing that map. So we've got some bad engagements coming out of Bad Boy there. Going for the Chinooks, but Gazorel bunched up, is not going to get any kills off. More Chinooks going down for Bad Boy. 1 really low. Another oil has been destroyed. The right oil has also been destroyed. We have seen that supply go down as well, so Bad Boy in a really bad situation. Actually rebuilt a supply on the left. We've got 4 raptors coming out of Bad Boy here, trying to go for the kill on the airfield. He's targeting there, so the point defense lasers from Herb actually don't deflect the missiles, but Herb actually took off and actually deflected a load of those missiles. Herb actually going for the same thing, and if another raptor comes and targets there, those are actually gonna all go down, and that is real bad for Bad Boy. That's 4,800 lost on the 4,400 lost on the airfield, because they're worth 1,100 each, and the airfield worth 800, I think. But yeah, Herb played better there from start to finish. It's like the first game woke Herb up a little bit and maybe gave him a little bit of a shock. Maybe he underestimated how good Bad Boy is, or maybe he hadn't warmed up. And yeah, Herb definitely stepped it up in that game. Okay, so welcome to the 4th game. So we've got Herb in the south, there's the yellow tank, and in the north we've got Bad Boy, or Castiel as he's called. Don't know why people sign up with different names to what they actually play with. I'm pretty sure Bad Boy signed up with his actual Bad Boy name. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're going to refer to him as Bad Boy, so in the north as Stealth. Actually, this is one of my favourite matchups, especially when you get 2 top players like Rage and Size, Crazy, Herb, Logica. When you get all these kind of top players, and Stealth as a tank usually ends up to be a really decent game, unless tank steamrolls the Stealth straight away, which does happen sometimes. Then it actually turns out to be a really decent game, especially Size's tank. Probably one of the best in the game. And I've seen some really decent games of stealth versus tank. So in the center we've got this tunnel from Bad Boy. On the left we've got a tunnel. On the right we're probably going to see a tunnel. On this map I'd probably skip that tunnel because you don't really need it, because the first unit you're going to be making is a tech, and that tech can run around anyway. You can actually build that tunnel a little bit quicker, and I probably would be going for fast oil capture, which actually Bad Boy is doing. You need to get some kind of economic advantage over the tank, and then hold on against tank's push, and then upgrades like palace and buses and stuff, and then stealth should be winning this. But early on, when you've got dragons and battle masters, outposts and gats, that mix of units is real hard for stealth to hold on against. Unless Bad Boy gets a good hijacker, but again you've got to predict that the enemy's not going to make an outpost and a gat, which will detect the hijacker, so it's a bit of a risk because a hijacker costs quite a bit in the beginning, something like 700 or 800. We've got this terrorist actually ran down the side just scouting for a dozer or some supply trucks, but actually just going to go down there. Herb spotting that pretty quick. Got a technical being shut down from Herb. Herb is playing on point ever since that first game. Herb has actually charged down the centre, killed a tunnel, and now going to kill the barracks, and this is going to put Bad Boy in a difficult situation when you've got flamers running loose in this big area that Bad Boy's not going to be able to see in a second. That's going to put stealth really on the back foot and be really hard to deal with. It's always nice if you hold on against those first units, then it becomes hard for the tank, but as soon as tank breaks through, which he has, then it's going to become a lot harder for the stealth. And of course now, because Bad Boy is paying attention back at home, he's actually going to lose map control on this left side, and maybe on this left side if he's not paying attention there as well. No flamer here though for Herb, so he's not going to be able to clear that just yet. Flamer probably on the way, and yes it is, we see it there. On the left, Herb is going to push forward. And on the right it's going to be an engagement. Hopefully shut down that flamer and then get all these RPGs back in there. A load of them RPGs going down, but actually going to get a majority of them back in there, and it's actually going to help him hold on. Those are the kind of engagements you need if you're going to be beating tank. If those kind of engagements happen 2 or 3 times, then stealth has won. But stealth has actually only won one of those type of engagements, but lost the centre and lost the left side, so it's looking better for Herb if you ask me. Of course Herb is winning 2-1, so he only needs 2 more to win. So Herb is on the left side now, which is going to cause stealth even more problems, and because he's paying attention back at home, he's going to lose that, and he's going to be able to lose this now because that one tunnel isn't going to be able to hold on against any of these units, never mind them all together. And Herb actually going back, realising he can't win this engagement, and going to choose to go for this right side. Herb is in a significantly better situation than Bad Boy. So gone a little bit quiet there. I'd like to see that flame down pretty quick because he's allowing him to collect $75 every time, but he's paying attention back here, actually keeping Bad Boy busy, and now going to control here, so you should have him actually labelled. He isn't using a control group there. He isn't there either, which is a little bit weird from Herb. Usually we'd expect him to see him use stuff, and actually Bad Boy just quits, which I'm a little bit shocked about, especially like after Bad Boy played so good in the first game, and then the last 3 have been a little bit poorer than his first performance. So jumping into game 5 then. So Herb only needs to win this one, and if he wins he should go through. Bad Boy needs to win, how many does he need to win now? He needs to win the next 3 in a row if he's going to go through. A winner, I believe, will face off against Curious, which is Tasmani, I think. Or has he even played his game yet? I'm not sure. If Curious wins all these games, though, the winner of these games will face off against Curious. I can't remember if Curious has played his games yet or not, but we will see. So we got, actually looks like probably a no eco coming out of Bad Boy, which is pretty desperate if you need to no eco against the China, because all you need to really do is play pretty standard and you should be beating China as USA. But I think he's putting a bit of pressure on himself. Actually, it looks like he's going for the oil, so maybe he's doing a V and an oil capture. But it's a little bit risky, because as soon as Herb makes one GAT or even makes a troop crawler, the red guard or the GAT, which he's made a GAT, it's going to be able to deny the oil captures. That's going to be risky for Bad Boy. I would have preferred to see 2 suppliers, War Factory Barracks, and just make Vs and rockets. That would have been a lot safer. Herb playing rock solid, bunker on the right, bunker on the left with RPGs and a GAT. This is pretty of a perfect opening. This GAT going to engage the V. The V losing a lot of HP, doesn't need to be losing that. Ranger actually going to go forward, which is bad micro. The V actually going to go down. That is horrendous from a Bad Boy. I don't know if he's feeling the pressure because it's a tournament. Maybe he won that first game and he put pressure on himself or not, but that was a real bad engagement, and I think a bad build order as well. But we'll see if Bad Boy can pull this off. It's looking real good for Herb though. Second V taking loads of damage. I don't know, he's only got 1 Ranger in there. This is a bit weird from Bad Boy. I think the pressure has got to him because he knows he needs to win the next 3 in a row. But sometimes if you've only got this next 3 in a row to win, you've only got 1 game to lose. If you think you're going out anyway, sometimes you've got nothing to lose, so just play. Actually just quit. It's a little bit disappointing to see. You just play super solid, and if you get the win, don't put the pressure on yourself. But I really think the pressure got to Bad Boy there, because like he played amazing the first game, and then the next 4 games he lost in a row, and I think they got worse as time went by. So yeah, unlucky for Bad Boy. Herb will progress and play the winner of Curious versus whoever Curious is against. The winner of those 2 games, I can't remember who Curious is against, but yeah, well played by Herb. He is through to the semi-final. Yeah, semi-final. So GG guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you